The date is the 5th of January 2023. Chaos erupted in the streets of Sinaloa, home of Mexico's most dominant drug cartel. With guns blazing and explosions rocking the region, 3,586 soldiers were deployed in total to capture a valuable individual and restore the peace. The soldiers descended upon a house for an arrest. The target? Ovidio Guzman, El Chapo Son. Ovidio Guzman Lopez was born on the 29th of March in 1990, nicknamed El Raton, or the Mouse in English. As the son of El Chapo, one of the most powerful cartel bosses ever, he was destined for the path of crime. He was suspected of being a leader within a Sinaloa cartel faction, often referred to as Los Chapitos, along with his brother Joaquin and half-brothers. Before the 2023 arrest that caused chaos in Sinaloa, something similar happened back in 2019, nicknamed the Culiacan Operation. On the 17th of October 2019, the Mexican government's security forces obtained information on Ovidio and arrested him in Culiacan, Sinaloa. But the cartel wasn't too happy about his arrest. The National Guard triggered a series of street warfare battles. Over 700 heavily armed cartel members threatened mass civilian casualties, including the attack on an apartment complex, which housed relatives of local military personnel. To prevent more bloodshed and bring the conflict to a halt, the Mexican president supported the decision to free Ovidio Guzman Lopez.
Violence paralyzed the streets of a Mexican city yesterday as security forces traded gunfire with heavily armed members of a drug cartel.
1 month after the incident, the officer who arrested Ovidio was assassinated. This was not over. On January 5, 2023, the police attempted to catch Ovidio again in the Jesus Maria district of Culiacan. They were joined by the Army National Guard, National Defense Secretariat, and Navy Secretariat. The drug cartels in Mexico showed how powerful they were during this operation. They quickly got a lot of armed men to come to the city of Culiacan, which caused a lot of trouble. Because of this, they told people not to go to Sinaloa, and the governor of Sinaloa said it was safer to stay at home.
I've never had to interact with any kind of strong-arming or any kind of situation where my kids were in danger.
The airport in Culiacan was closed because of the fighting, and there were even shootouts on the runway. People also started looting in Culiacan, and some businesses and banks closed for a while. There were reports of people stealing cars and demanding car keys during this time. 10 soldiers, 19 gang members, and 1 police officer met their fate. Among them was an infantry colonel and his 4 guards who were attacked by cartel members. The National Defense Secretariat said that they used 3,586 soldiers in the operation, and that they confiscated many weapons and vehicles from the cartels. After they finally caught Ovidio, they took him to Mexico City, and then to the Attorney General's Organized Crime Special Prosecutor's Office. Later, the Air Force flew him to a maximum security prison in Almoloya de Juarez. The Defense Secretary confirmed that they also arrested 17 suspected cartel members. The Foreign Secretary said they asked the United States to bring Ovidio there for trial, but they also said he was facing charges in Mexico. A judge said Ovidio would be kept in detention for 60 days to give the U.S. time to ask for his extradition. But if you think that the whole thing went down as smooth as silk, then you might be wrong. You see, despite their infamous rackets and illicit activities, the El Chapo family is nothing short of a deity in the streets of Mexico. The locals believe the cartel to be their saviors, and as hard as it sounds to believe, the people of Mexico actually tried to defend their beloved drug lord. There was a massive disruption of law and order when news broke about Ovidio's arrest. The task already seemed impossible to accomplish, and the locals made it even harder. They set up roadblocks to prevent the authorities from making it to the cartel's hideout, and the cartel members took the situation from bad to worse. They opened fire on anything they saw moving. Cars were set on fire, airports were surrounded, and even heavy-duty weaponry was deployed to ensure the safety of their leader. It reached a point where 2 Mexican passenger planes had to make emergency landings as they got caught in gunfire. The whole place was in a riot, and you can only imagine how cruel the situation might have been. You could see cartel trucks, guns, heavy artillery, and cartel members anywhere you laid your eyes. Fire, gunshots, smoke, it all became the essence of Mexico when Ovidio was captured. Cartel members and the civilians acted alike to protect their prince, but the authorities got the best of them. It was nothing short of a war. Bloodshed and fire were everywhere. But it is not over yet. El Chapo has been in prison for almost a decade now, and now his successor is also behind bars. Suffice to say, the cartel wasn't happy. They wanted their leaders back, and they weren't afraid to cause more bloodshed, as they've done before. It's the cartel we're talking about, after all. The main purpose of the arrest is to bring down the cartel, and to do that, the authorities want intel from Ovidio. He was constantly being interrogated, but it didn't matter much for the kingpin. He straight up denied any allegation brought up against him, and as per reports from ABC News, Ovidio wasn't cooperating either. He wouldn't give up his 3 brothers, nor share any information that might be helpful to the authorities. He is currently facing charges of drug trafficking and money laundering, among others. The verdict? Well, that's going to take some time. Even though Ovidio claims non-guilty, his criminal record suggests otherwise. In the realm of drug trafficking, Ovidio Guzman Lopez held a significant position within the infamous Sinaloa cartel, a role amplified by his identity as the son of the notorious El Chapo. His standing as a powerful figure in the cartel was underscored when the U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control officially recognized him as such in 2012 under the Foreign Narcotics Kingpin Designation Act. Following his father's capture in 2016, it is widely believed that Guzman Lopez assumed an even more prominent role within the Sinaloa cartel. A 2019 report from the Associated Press indicated that he now leads the cartel alongside his 3 brothers. However, despite the cartel's efforts to shield Ovidio, his criminal activities did not escape the radar of law enforcement. In 2017, Ovidio and his brother Joaquin were indicted by a grand jury on charges related to drug trafficking dating back to 2008. This indictment remained sealed until December 2018, when it was partially unsealed for extradition purposes. Finally, in February 2019, Judge Rudolph Contreras fully revealed the indictment. For years, the United States has sought to extradite Guzman. In December 2021, the U.S. State Department offered a $5 million reward for information leading to his arrest or conviction, as well as for each of the Chapito brothers. Guzman faces U.S. charges related to conspiring to traffic Colombian snow, crystal, and Mary Jane into the country. The State Department alleges that he is responsible for crystal labs in Sinaloa producing between 3,000 to 5,000 pounds of the drug each month. The developments surrounding Ovidio's arrest set the stage for a turbulent period of conflict and violence within the realm of Mexican drug cartels. On the 15th of September 2023, the Mexican government extradited Ovidio Guzman Lopez to the United States, where Ovidio will face drug trafficking and money laundering charges. He pleaded not guilty. The mayhem caused by the arrest of Ovidio highlights the bizarre amount of power the cartel possesses and the ongoing challenges Mexico faces in dealing with them. Ovidio Guzman is in prison now, just like his father El Chapo, but that doesn't mean anything since El Chapo has escaped before. Can he escape again? Click the recommended video to find out how El Chapo can escape from his maximum security prison.